Alright, we're gonna quickly show you how to diagnose a alternator problem on today's car. This type of alternators are getting very popular these days. So there's a difference here. So if you see a alternator with a pulley like that, just a normal pulley, nothing on top of it, that's usually it's just a normal style old school alternator, right? But if you see a plastic cap or a rubber cap like this, that means it's a one-way clutch type alternator. They have a bearing and all that in there, right? And it's also called overrunning pulley type clutch. So if you look at it, if you look inside, take the cover off, you'll see the sealed bearing and everything in there. Okay, so a normal one will look like that, but as long as you follow the plastic cap or rubber cap on top of that, that means it's an overrun pulley, one-way clutch type. So they make noise. Okay, that's the problem with this type of, even if the alternator is charging just fine, you know, no problem whatsoever with the charging system, they can make horrible noise, usually at low RPM or at idle speed. Okay, if you rev the car, the noise goes away. So when it comes down, when the revs comes down to idle, you're gonna hear noise like sometimes rattling noise, sometimes like a humming noise, sometimes like a belt squealing noise. And on this particular Hilux, we are doing, this is for the Hilux, this is a new one, this is the old one. The problem at idle was it was making clapping noise, kind of like a clap, 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 clapping type of noise. So they can make all type of noise. So what you usually do first thing is obviously look at the front of the alternator and see if it's a one-way type clutch. Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing, you look at the tensioner. So when you have a problem with that, the tensioner tend to sort of bounce back and forth like that very fast, rapidly. And you can also see the belt next to the tensioner. You will see the belt also jumping up and down like that, right? If you see that, if the tensioner is not steady, right, obviously you're gonna have a little bit of a movement on tensioner. But if you see that rapid back and forth movement on the tensioner, more than likely the problem is your alternator that's causing that noise. Okay, so another way to diagnose this car, once it's off the car, obviously you can take the belt off. If you've got enough space, you can check it on the car too, but best to do it while it's off. Second thing is you can have a feel, and if you come close to the alternator, just trying to hear that noise. I don't know if you picked up, there's like a knocking noise when I go back and forth on that pulley like that. There's a knocking noise already. That's already suggests that could be the problem. Okay, another way you can also tell if the source of the problem is the alternator is when I spin this pulley like that and stop, okay, hold it, spin it, stop, hold it like that. When you hold it, the inside, if you look on the inside, see how it turns. Can you catch that on the camera on the inside? See the inside bit that turns with the pulley, right? So when I spin this pulley with my hand, go back a bit. So when I spin this pulley with my hand and hold it, right, like that, the inside, the rotating part that's inside the alternator, the blades, right, they have to keep turning a little bit more even after the pulley is stopped with your finger, right? So I'll do that again. When you spin that, hold it, the inside bit has to keep traveling a little bit further. Okay, that's one way to tell if the overrunning clutch is good in this pulley, in this alternator or not. For this one, it's bad. Now some alternator is very pronounced. You can really see after you stop the pulley, the inside bit keep turning. You can really see that. But some pulley don't have that much movement, so you might be confused, hey, stop together. But one way you can do it is like here, I put a mark, yellow mark there. See, I put a yellow mark on the pulley and I also put a yellow mark on the blade inside. You can see, right? They're moving together. So when I turn it, that mark on the inside has to move a little bit further than the pulley. Okay, so if I go spin, right, spin and hold like that. All right, let me just catch it on the right location. See, I catched it after I moved it. Now look inside. See that yellow mark? They're still lining up at the same location. That's no good. That means this clutch is bad on this pulley. That's the source of the noise. Okay, now let's go and look at the brand new one. Okay, here's a brand new one. You have to see the inside, maybe trying to catch it from the top here. So see how inside turn. If you go slowly, the inside will turn, right, together with the pulley, right? But if I spin it and hold it, the inside will keep going further. This one is not very pronounced. That's why I'll probably make a mark here, which I already done it. So let me bring it together. Let me bring that close to each other, that two marks I made, just for demonstration. Let me just grab that a little bit more. A little bit more. All right, here we go. So right here you can see I made a mark, yellow paint on the inside. Can you see that or not? You may have to go this way a little bit. See, I got a mark, yellow mark right there on the pulley, and if you look on the blade inside, can you see that or not? Right, anyway, it's very hard to see, but all right, there's a mark on that inside pulley, the blade, and also a mark on the pulley outside here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna rotate, and we're gonna see if the inside move further than the pulley. Okay, so I'm just gonna go like that a couple of times. Now let's find that mark. See, the pulley mark is right here. So if you go on and have a look on the blade, the mark is not there. The mark on the blade is like right in this location. See, it moved about at least 180 degrees just by spinning a couple of times, right? So that's one way to test if the overrun clutch pulley is good or not. So basically, if you have a noise complaint on idle or modern cars, this is one way to do a test, and this could be one reason why it's making that clapping noise, or sometimes squealing noise, sometimes like a humming noise from the belt. And I have also seen they failed, like this bearing. If you pop this, the bearing will all come out. All the rollers from the bearing will come out. I have seen this pulley like not turning true anymore. Instead of going true circle, it's gonna be like a wobbly. All right, if that's the case, they also make that kind of noise. The noise, there's no one type of noise. There's always gonna be different types of noise you can hear from this type of problem. Like I said, some of them I can tell you it's like a clapping noise. Sometimes it's a clattering noise. Sometimes it's a humming noise. Sometimes it's like a belt squealing noise. Sometimes it's like a also like a knocking noise. I've heard a lot of different types of noise from this type of problem in the clutch alternator clutch pulley. That's it. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. I'll see you next time.